Sorry, thanks. Sorry, I'm just getting warmed up here. Oh, thank you. Sorry I wasn't able to finish. I lost my composition there. I do need to start baking though. I should clean my oven out. It's some crumbs in there. My name's Steven, and I currently don't have anything in the oven right now, so nothing's burning. I'm preheating my oven right now. It needs to be at 370. It's currently at 340 degrees, and I'm also waiting for my pot to the pot of water here to start boiling. So I have a few minutes to drink coffee and play the Blocken Flauten. What should I play now? Yeah, I am alone. I'm alone. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm alone for the first 2 hours in the morning. What time is it? Yeah, I'm alone until 6:30. Yeah. Coffee. I need to go refill. I should get baking though here, I guess. I need to get my bagels. I still have a few more minutes here. My oven still needs about 30 degrees, and then my pot's just starting to boil a bit here. almost ready here. Still waiting for my pot to boil here. My oven still needs another 14 degrees. I lost my breath. Forgot what note that is. It's too early. I need more coffee. Another minute or so. You ready to go? That nice amber honey. Man, this pot takes forever to come to a boil. Forever. I think there's something wrong with this burner. It takes way too long. Morning. I think it's time to start baking. I think. Still isn't boiling though. Welcome. Still waiting for this pot to boil. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with the burner, but I can't really do anything about it right now. So I'm just gonna wait. It should be hot enough. I'm gonna put my first batch in now. Hello. I'm currently in Richmond, BC. I live in Vancouver. I'd love to visit London one day, someday. Hamlin Towns in Brunswick, my famous Hanover city. The River Weser, deep and wide, washes its wall on the southern side. I'm making bagels. I just put my first batch in. This is a pot of boiling water, or almost boiling water. It hasn't quite come to a boil. It's on max, but I don't know. There's something wrong with the burner. I don't know. I don't know, it looks fine, but I can't, it should It should be boiling wildly by now. Hamlin towns and Brunswick by famous Hanover City. The river Weser deep and wide washes its wall on the southern side. A pleasanter spot you've never spied. But when begins my ditty, almost 500 years ago, to see the townsfolk suffer so, from vermin was a pity. Rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats, and bit the babies in the cradles, and ate the cheeses from the vats, and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles, split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nests in the men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning out their speaking with shrieking and squeaking in 50 different sharps and flats. At last the people in a body to the town hall came flocking. "'Tis clear," cried they, "our mayor is a naughty, and as for our corporation, shocking to think we buy gowns lined with ermine, for dolts who canter won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old and obese to find in the furry civic robes ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your brains a racking, to find the remedy we are lacking, or sure as fate we'll send you packing." At this the mayor and corporation quaked with a mighty consternation. An hour they sat in council. At length the mayor broke silence. For a gilder eyed my ermine gown sell. I wish I were a mile hence. It's easy to bid one rack one's brain. I'm sure my poor head aches again. I scratch it so, but all in vain. Oh, for a trap, a trap, a trap. Just he said this, what should hap? At the chamber door but a gentle tap. "Bless us," cried the mayor, "what's that?" With the corporation as he sat, looking little to wonder his fat. Nor brighter were his eyes, nor moister than a too long opened oyster, save when at noon his paunch grew mutinous for a plate of turtle green and glutinous. Only a scraping of shoes on a mat, anything like the sound of a rat makes my heart go pit-a-pat. "Come in," cried the mayor, looking bigger, and in did come the strangest figure. His long queer coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red, and he himself was tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes, each like a pin, and light loose hair and swarthy skin, nor tuft of hair on cheek nor beard on chin, but lips or smile went out and in. There was no guessing his kith or kin, and nobody could enough admire this tall man in his quaint attire. Quoth one, "It's as my great-grandsire, starting up at the trump of doom's tone, had walked this way from his painted tombstone." He advanced towards the council table. "Please, your honor," said he, "I am able, by means of secret charm, to draw all the creatures living beneath the sun, that crawl or swim or fly or run, after me so as you never saw. And I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm, the mole and toad and newt and viper, and people call me the Pied Piper." And here they noticed round his neck a scarf of red and yellow stripe, to match with his coat of self-same check, and at scarf's end hung a pipe, and his fingers they noticed were ever straying, as if impatient to be playing upon this pipe, as low it dangled over his vesture so old-fangled. "Yes," said he, "Pied Piper as I am, in Tartary I fred the cam, last June from his huge swarms of gnats. I ease in Asia the Nizam, of a monstrous brood of vampire bats. And as for what your brain bewilders, if I rid your town of rats, will you give me 1,000 guilders?" 50,000 was the exclamation of an astonished mayor and corporation. Into the street the piper stepped, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe the while. Like a musical adept, to blow his pipe, his lips he wrinkled, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, I heard as if an army muttered, and the muttering grew to a grumbling, and grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses came the rats tumbling, great rats, small rats, lean rats, briny rats, brown rats, black rats, gray rats, tawny rats, grave old plotters, gay young friskers, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, followed the Pied Piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed dancing, until they came to the river Weser, wherein all plunged and perished, save one who stout as Julius Caesar swam across and lived to carry, as he the manuscript he cherished, to rat lound from this commentary, which was, after shrill notes of the pipe, I heard a sound of the scraping tripe, and putting apples wondrous ripe into the cider presses gripe, and moving away at pickled up boards, leaving a jar of conserve cupboards, and drawing the corks of train oil flasks, and breaking loops of butter casks, and it seemed as if a voice, sweeter far than by harper by Solari's breathe, called out, "O rats, rejoice! The world has grown to a vast rice saltery. So munch on, crunch on, take your nunch on, breakfast, supper, dinner, lunch on, and just a bulky sugar punch on, all already staved like a great sun shone, gracious scarce an inch before me, just as me thought and said come bore me, and found the Weser rolling over me. You should have heard the Hamlin people ring the bells, they rock the steeple. Go, cried the mayor, get long poles, poke out the nests and block up the holes. Consult with carpenters and builders, and leave in our town not even a trace of the rats. When suddenly up the face of the piper perked in the marketplace. The first, if you please, my 1,000 guilders. 1,000 guilders. The mayor looked blue, so did the corporation too. For council dinners made rare havoc with claret, moselle, vin de gras, hawk, and half the money would replenish their cellar's biggest butt of Rhenish to pay this sum to a wondering fellow with gypsy coat of red and yellow. Besides, quoth the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was done at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes the vermin sink, and what's dead can't come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not folks to shrink from our duty of giving you something to drink, and a matter of money to put in your coat. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you all know, wasn't joke. Besides, the losses have made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The piper's face fell and he cried, no trifling, I can't wait beside. I promise a visit by dinner time Baghdad, except the crime of the head cook's pottage, all he's rich in, for having left in the caliph's kitchen, of a nest of scorpions, no survivor. With him I prove no bargain driver, with you don't think I'll bake a stiver. And folks who put me in a passion, may find me pipe after another fashion. How, cried the mayor, do you think I brook, being worse treated than a cook? Insulted by a rival, with idle pipe and vesture piebald. Threaten us, fellow, do your worst, blow your pipe there till you burst. Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe of smooth straight cane. And ere he blew 3 notes, such sweet soft notes as yet musicians cunning never gave the enraptured air. There was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds jesting at pitching and hustling. Small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, and little tongues chattering. And like foals in the farmyard when barley is scattering, out came the children running, all the little boys and girls, with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls, tripping and skipping ran merrily after. The wonderful music was shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb and the council stood as if they're changed in the blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, till the children merrily skipping by could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back, and how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosom beat as the piper turned to the high street, to where the Weser rolled its waters, right in the way of their sons and daughters. However, he turned from south to west, and to Copperberg Hill his steps addressed, and after him the children pressed, great with the joy in every breast. He never crossed the mighty top, he's forced to let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, they reached the mountainside, a wondrous portal opened wide, as if a cavern was suddenly hollowed. The piper advanced, and the children followed, and when all were in to the very last, the door in the mountainside shut fast. Did I say all? No one was lame, and could not dance a whole of the way. And in after years, if you would blame the sadness, you used to say, it's dull in our town since my playmates left, I can't forget that I'm bereft. of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper also promised me. For he led us, he said, to a joyous land, joining the town and just at hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, and flowers before a fairer hue, and everything was strange and new. The sparrow was bright and a peacock here, and her dogs outran her fellow deer, and honeybees had lost their stings, and horses were born with eagle's wings. And just as I became assured my lame foot be speedily cured, the music stopped, and I stood still, and found myself outside the hill, left behind against my will, to go now limping as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas for Hamelin, there came into many a burgher's trade a text which says at heaven's gate, opes to the rich at as easy rate as the needle's eye takes a camel in. The mayor sent east, west, north, and south to offer the piper by word of mouth, wherever was men's lot to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only he'd return the way he went, and bring the children behind him. But when he saw 'twas lost endeavor, and piper and dances were gone forever, they made a decree that lawyers never should think their records dated duly, if after the day of the month and year these words do not as well appear. And so long after what happened here, on the 22nd of July, 1376, and the better and memory to fix the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper Street, where anyone playing pipe or tabor was sure for his future lose his labor. Nor suffered they hospitaller or tavern, shocked with mirth, a street so solemn, and opposite the place of the cavern, there wrote the story on a column, and on great church window painted, the same to make the world acquainted, how their children were stolen away, and there it stands this very day. And I must not admit to say that in Transylvania there is a tribe of alien people who ascribe the way and dress of which their neighbors lay such stress to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison into which they were Japan a long time ago in a mighty band out of hamlet towns in Brunswick land. But how or why they don't understand. So, Lily, let me and you be wipers of scores out with all men, especially pipers. And if they should pipe us free from rats and from mice, and if we promise them aught, let us keep our promise. I'm doing good, how are you? Whoever asked a moment ago, I'm doing well. I'm baking bagels. That was the Pied Piper of Hamelin by Robert Browning. Robert Browning. Robert Browning. Robert Browning. My first thought was, I'm making bagels. Yeah, there, you can see it, you can almost see them. They're right there. I got another batch in the pot right here. Yeah, bagels. Bagels. Oh. Bagels. Go bagels. And you can almost see them, I don't know. Yeah, you can see they're on the board there. That's a batch of sesame. There's 29 bagels on those two boards, and it should be 30. I don't know what happened to the 30th bagel. Yeah, this is super nice. Yeah, it's a very nice oven. Very reliable. It's the brand is Woodstone. I think they have manufacturing factory in Bellingham, Washington. Go oven. Sounds like McLovin. We're making poetry together here. We have cream cheese, lox, Montreal smoked meat, turkey. We also have, one of my favorites is the Yaletown, which is egg and tomato. So yeah, we make bagel sandwiches. We have lots of cream cheese, peanut butter and jam. Montreal smoked meat, turkey, like I said, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have very many vegan or vegetarian options. We do have a vegetarian sandwich, but that's all we have for vegetarian. This location is in Richmond, BC. There's 5 locations. There's 2 in Vancouver. One's on Main Street and Broadway. The other one is on Commercial in Kitchener. That's the one in Commercial Drive is the one that I usually work at. But I've been working at Richmond. Yeah, in Canada. Yeah, Canada. Vancouver. We're in Vancouver. Oh, okay, Australia. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll open a store in Australia. I'm sure there's a market there for bagels. I would love to live in Australia. Oh my god. Wow. Wouldn't that be fantastic? I would totally move to Australia to open a bagel shop. We're called Rosemary Rock Salt. We make Montreal bagels Vancouver style. Montreal bagels Vancouver style. At this location, there's bakers at every location baking right now. So there's currently 5 bakers baking, doing exactly the same thing as I'm doing right now. Hopefully. As long as they aren't sick or have slept in or something. So I missed that comment there. No, it's a chain. It's owned by some business people, I guess you call them. I don't know. And I'm an employee here. But I've been an employee here for quite a while, almost since the start. Almost from the start. My first thought was he lied in every word, that hoary cripple with malicious eye, askance to watch the working of his lie on mine, and mouth scarce able to afford suppression of the glee that pursed and scored its edge at one more victim gained thereby. What else should he be set for with his staff? What saved waylay with his lies and snare all travelers who might find him posted there, and asked the road, I guessed what skull-like laugh would break, what crutch could write my epitaph for pastime in the dusty thoroughfare. If at his counsel I should turn aside into ominous track, which all agree hides the dark tower, yet acquiescingly I did turn as he pointed. Oh, thanks. I don't often know what to say in the morning, so I'm happy when I come up with a title. I'm making bagels. Bagels, bagels, everyone loves bagels. Bagels, bagels, won't you eat one too? Yeah, we do Montreal smoked meat here, which is pretty close to pastrami, I guess. I don't know. It's Canada's version of pastrami. I don't know. I'm not much of a person. I'm not much for like what do you call it, like cured meat or whatever, cold cut meat or I don't know what. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of red meat. I eat mostly the egg sandwiches here. I'm mostly vegetarian, so I stick to the eggs and the dairy, mostly. That's my thing. I'm not a huge fan of red meat, which is probably a good thing for me because I hope that'll mean I'm a little bit healthier. Do vegan. I guess it comes down to whether or not they eat honey. No. My first thought was, it is, let me see, it's 5:35 in Vancouver. Actually, I'm in Richmond right now, which is close enough to Vancouver to be Vancouver. So we got, I got 2 batches in the oven. Oh, Dubai, wow. Long way from here. I got something on my hat. Yeah, I've never been to the Middle East, so it'd be very interesting to visit Dubai, I'm sure. Paradise Floss, thanks. I'm gonna name my kid Paradise so that I can say that. I can say Paradise Flossed. Funny. Good Paradise Floss. It's Paradise Flossed. Autumn and spring, okay. Come in summer. I do like hot weather, but I don't like excruciatingly hot. So like anything above 40 degrees is excruciating. So I'd probably prefer to come in the autumn or spring. I can handle about 35 degrees. That's about my max. That's why I like Mexico. Mexico, it's hot, but it doesn't usually get too hot. The places I've been anyways. I liked Hawaii was nice too. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cool, just perfect. Yeah, between 30 and 35, that's bearable. Anything above 35 is torture though. My first thought was he lied in every word, that hoary cripple with malicious eye, askance to watch the working of his lie on mine, and mouth scarce able to afford suppression of the glee that pursed and scored its edge at one more victim gained thereby. What else should he be set for with his staff? What saved the waylay with his lies and snare? All travelers who might find him posted there. And asked the road, I guessed what skull like laugh would break, what crutch can write my epitaph for pastime in the dusty thoroughfare. If at his counsel I should turn aside into ominous track which all agree hides the dark tower, yet acquiescing I did turn as he pointed, neither pride nor hope rekindling at the end descried, so much as gladness some end might be. For what with my whole world wide wondering, What with my search drawn out through years, my hope dwindled into a ghost not fit to cope with that obstreperous joy success would bring. I hardly tried now to rebuke the spring my heart made finding failure in its scope. As a sick man very near to death seems dead indeed, the fields begin and end the tears, and takes the farewell of each friend. And here's one bid the other go, draw breath freely or outside. Since all is over, he saith, and the blow fallen no grieving can amend. While some discuss if the other graves be room enough for this, and when a day suits best for carrying the corpse away, with caribou banners, scarfs, and staves, and still the buccaneers all and only craves, he may not shame such tender love and stay. Thus I had for so long suffered in this quest, heard failure prophesied so oft being writ, so many times among the band to wit. The knights who to dark tower search address their steps, the just to fail as they seem best, and all doubt was now should I be fit. So quiet as despair I turned from him, that hateful cripple, out of his highway into the path he pointed. All the day had been a dreary one at best, and dim was settling into its close, yet shot one grim red leer to see the plain catch its stray. For mark, no sooner was I fairly found, pledged to the plain after pacing to, than pausing for back with a last view. Over the safe road 'twas gone, great plain all round, nothing but plain to the horizon's bound. I must go on, naught else remained to do. So on I went. I think I never saw such starved ignoble nature. Nothing throve, for flowers as well expect a cedar grove, but chortle and spurge according to their law might propagate their kind with none to awe. You'd think a burr had been a treasure trove. No penry inertness in grimace, in some strange sort were the land's portion. See or close your eyes, said nature peevishly, it nothing skills, I can't help my case. 'Tis last judgment's fire must cure this place, calcine its clods and set my prisoners free. If there pushed any ragged thistle stalk above its mates, its head was chopped. The bents were jealous else. What made the holes and rents in the dock's harsh forest leaves, bruised as to balk all hope of greenness? 'Tis a brute must walk, passing their life over the brute's intents. As for the grass, it grew as scarce as hair and leprosy. Thin, dry blades pricked the mud, which underneath looked kneaded up with blood. One stiff, blind horse, as every bone astare, stood stupefied however he came there, thrust out past service in the devil's stud. Alive, he might be dead for aught I know, with red, gaunt, encalloped neck astrain, and shut eyes beneath the rusty mane. Seldom went such grotesqueness with such woe. I never saw a brute I hated so, who must have been wicked to deserve such pain. I shut my eyes and turned them on my heart, as a man calls to mind before he fights. I asked when drafted earlier, happier sights, ere fitly I could hope to play the part. Think first, fight afterwards, the soldier's art. One taste of all time sets all to rights. Not it. I fancied Cuthbert's reddening face beneath its garniture of curly gold. Dear fellow, till I almost felt him fold. An arm and mind fixed me to that place, that way he used. Alas, one night's disgrace. Oh, at my heart's new fire and left it cold. Giles then, the soul of honor, there he stands, frank as 10 years ago when knighted first. An honest man should dare, he said he durst. Good, but the scene shifts. Thaw what hangman's hand pinned to his breast a parchment. His own band reads it. Poor traitor spit upon and cursed. Better this present than a past like that. Back therefore to my darkening path. No sound, no sight as far as the eye can strain. Will the night send a howlet or a bat asked? When something on the dismal flat came to arrest my thoughts and change their train. A sudden little river crossed my path, as unexpected as a serpent came, no tides congenial to the glooms. This as it frothed by might have been a bath, beams blew at roots, to see the rapids, black eddies bespat with flakes and spoons. So petty yet so spiteful, all along low scrubby alders kneeled over it, drenched willows flung them headlong in a fit rout despair, a suicidal throng. The river which had done them all the wrong, whatever that was, rolled by, deterred no whit. Which while I forded, good saints, how I feared to set my foot upon a dead man's cheek. Each step or feel the spear I thrust to seek, for hollows tangled in his hair or beard. It may have been a water rat I speared, but ugh, it sounded like a baby's shriek. Glad was I to reach the other bank, now for a better country. Vain presage, who were the strugglers? What war did they wage? Whose savage trample could thus pat the dank soil into a plash? Toads in a poisoned tank, or wild cats in a red-hot cage. More than that, a furlong on, why there, what bad use was that engine for? That wheel, or brake, or reel, that harrow fit to reel men's bodies out like silk. with all the air of Tophet's tool, on earth left unaware or brought to sharpen its rusty teeth of steel. Then came some stub ground, once a wood, next to marsh it would seem, now near earth, desperate and done with, so the fool finds mirth, makes a thing and mars it, till his mood changes and off he goes, within a rude bog, clay and marsh, sand and stark black dirt. Now blotches rankling, colored gay and grim, now patches where some leanness of the soils, broken to moss or substances like boils. Then came a palsied oak, a cleft in him, a distorted mouth that splits its rim, gaping at death and dies while it recoils. As far as ever from the end, not in the distance but the evening not, point my footsteps further at the thought, great black bird, Apollyon's bosom friend, sailed past, nor beat his wide wings, dragon's pen, that brushed my cap, perchance the guide I sought. For looking up aware I somehow grew, the plain had given place all round to mountains with such names to grace, mere heights and heaps now stolen of view. How thus they surprised me, solved with you, how to get from there wasn't a clear case. Yet half I seemed to recognize some trick of mischief had happened to me, God knows when, in a bad dream perhaps. Here ended then progress this way, when in the very nick of giving up one more time, came a click as when the trap shuts you're in the den. Burningly it came upon me all at once. This was the place, those two hills crouched like two bulls locked horn in fight, while to the left a tall scout mountain, dunce, dotard and dozing, at the very nunce, after a lifetime of training for the sight. What in the midst lay but the tower itself, the round squat turret, blind as a fool's heart, built of brown stone without a counterpart in the whole world. The tempest's mocking elf points at the shipman thus, the unsheen self he strikes on only when timbers start. Not see when noise was not see because of night perhaps, why day came back for that. Behind it left the dying sunset, kindled through a cleft. The hills like two giants in the hunting lay, chin upon hand to see the game at bay, and a stab in every creature to the heft. Not here, because of night perhaps, not when noise was everywhere where it told, increasing like a bell, names in my ears, of lost adventurers, my peers, how such was strong and such was bold, and such was fortunate, yet each of old, lost one moment, now the woe of years. There they stood, ranged along the hillside met, to view the last of me, a living frame, for one more picture in a sheet of flame. I saw them and knew them all, and yet, dauntless as slughorn to my lips I sat and blew, child roll into a dark tower came. Sorry I missed all your comments. I was trying to get through that poem. Almost lost it. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of British and it's a little bit of Columbia. It's not neither. It's both. Jeez. What's with your false dichotomies? It's a little bit of British, it's a little bit of Columbia. It's a British Columbia. It's a British Columbia. Oh, I missed that one. Damn. It's a little bit of British Columbia. Columbia. Bagels, bagels, everyone loves bagels. Bagels, bagels, won't you eat one too? Everyone loves bagels. Junkies, flunks, and your parents too. Junkies, flunkies. Junkies, flunkies, and punks, and your parents too. Bagels, bagels, everyone loves bagels. Bagels, bagels, won't you eat one too? So 1990s. I know they're so 1880s, really. 1880s. I think it's a fad that's been going on for about 300 years. Bagels are so 1890s. I bet bagels will be a thing in 2090. 100 years. Bagels are forever, don't you know? Bagels are forever. Well, only allowed to be made in New York. What? It's a UN declaration. Yeah, we boil them here. They're right here. This pot of water. Reminds me I gotta put my next batch in. I'm gonna do that. Well, it's almost time to end the stream. Yeah, machines can do all this. Machines can do a lot of things that humans are. Machines are going to be able to do a lot of things that, better than humans are able to do. So. Get used to it. I bet your job isn't any more secure than mine. Hipster bagels, yeah. Why this is Vancouver after all. It's hipster mecca. A machine is not as entertaining as me, though. People want to see their food made by humans. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. You could probably automate one of Gordon Ramsay's kitchens. Get rid of all those bums working in there. Let's do that. Let's just get rid of every worker in the world. Replace it with machines. This is the future. I call my job, this is artisanal labor. That's the future of labor, is artisanal labor. Sure, a machine could do this job, but that's a lot of research and development. That'd be one expensive machine to build, perhaps. Or you can just pay me to do it. That's how this works. Well, that's it. Nobody's watching right now, so yeah, thanks for watching my stream. All who are watching, hey, welcome. I'm about to end the stream. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have an excellent morning. Thanks for watching.